Hi, I'm Chris Nessie from the House of EdTech Podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to right now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology, and instructional coach from my district.
And I'm our producer and husband, Fuzz Martin, and I cannot wait to brush up on some of our digital art tools today.
Well, you came up with one.
Yeah, I told you I would.
That's cute.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
My other pun was kind of sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Keep going. I'm sure there's more. No?
We could talk about it a little later. I'll pencil you in for some time.
Okay.
They're not getting any better, folks. All right.
The brush one was the best one. Glad you started with that one.
Yes, me too.
So this week, episode 176, we are going to talk about some digital art tools, which is fun. End of February. Mm-hmm. We're here. Hooray.
Hooray.
February is the longest short month.
Always.
Next week, Ed Campbell Brook.
You're excited for that?
I am. That's on March 2nd. And we're going to do some art this week. I was really excited. My students were doing some sketching and some drawing stuff this week. And I was like, I haven't done an art tool in a while. And I have a few that are like hardcore, like sketcher, artsy.
I'm always impressed.
Creativeness. And I love it.
I'm always impressed when I see like one of our youngest's babysitters is a fantastic artist. Mm-hmm. And when I was never super skilled at drawing. Mm-hmm. When I see what some of these kids create, it's like, wow, how do you have that coming out of your brain?
And how they just like keep going and they stick with it. I always like to see like not giving up. You know, they'll like try something and add to it and create it and carry their notebooks around. And it's fun to see.
Yeah.
So great. I love a good digital tool that can help them out as well.
Right.
Or help them think about things.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun for all this week. Whether you're a teacher or a student of any grade level. It's called SketchUp, but the website is sketch.io. So sketch.io. And it's a sketchpad for drawing or creating or making digital media.
Okay.
Or anything you want to make out of it. It's really kind of fun. The tools are pretty straightforward, which I like because while we use a lot of Canva. We use like Google Draw. We use a lot of drawing tools. I like exposing kids to new tools. And I talk about this occasionally where it may not be the tool we always use, but it's things that they're familiar with. So it teaches kids to be flexible when it comes to working on a computer and creating. Like, yeah, we're going to make some sort of cool digital poster or drawing or a piece of art today. But the tools are going to be slightly different. They're not totally out of the realm where you don't know what you're doing. But it also makes them think a little bit and have to problem solve a little bit, which I think is a skill that we need to have. And I don't like my kids to get too comfortable in a site for too long. So
sure.
Sketch.io definitely allows that. And it's really fun to play around in. So all the tools are on the left-hand side. And you'll see you have your general like selector and crop and size. But there's some other fun things that are in there to play around with. So instead of just your regular pencil, they have like a tile brush and you can mirror. They have a calligraphy pen, which I appreciate. Way back in the day, like a million years ago, when I was in high school, I took calligraphy and I love to do calligraphy writing. They have a calligraphy digital tool, which is kind of fun because you don't see that very often.
Right.
I mean, you see some text features and different fonts and things like that, but this one's a calligraphy pen. And paintbrushes and pens and pencils and different arrows and paths and lines and crayons and spray paint.
Cool.
So you can have the kids do some cool spray paint type stuff if you're going to do like a little graffiti board or things like that in your classroom, which is really nice. On the right-hand side, you've got little back arrows. If you do something you don't want to do, you just hit the back button. Per usual, like things we're familiar with. And then you can choose if you want to do different overlays. You can do different like hard and soft light. You can do darkening or multiple. So you just have all of those kind of general tools you would have for art creation, but there's not a bunch of extras to make it too complicated. So there's a lot of choices there. You don't have to use them by any means. You can just draw and choose your line width if you want thicker or thinner, those types of things. But if you want to get fancy or your kids get comfortable with it, they could definitely play around and create and be very creative. There's also shapes to pick from, and you can put them in different layers. They talk about like paint into the layers, so you can do different layers of things. They have all of the different shapes, from a spiral to stars to triangles to a burst to all kinds of fun stuff like that. You can definitely swap out the color. They have the fill. They have the outline, so you can make choices on that for fill and outline, how thick you want it. The whirl and the slow. I mean, there's a bunch of choices to make your art. And then my new favorite thing, they have a layer that you can put your cartoons into.
The clip art.
So they have clip art. They also have where you can upload your own image, and then you can create art around your own images, which is fun.
Yep.
And so I have a zebra. Don't worry, you're all going to get to see it on my website. So there's a zebra and a peacock and a cow. Oh, I should do cows. We could incorporate that with last week's lessons. They have all different types of people, animals, food. They have a church, and they have a seahorse. Oh, and you made a man eating pizza and drinking a juice box.
I did. And he has hands holding the pizza.
He has hands holding his pizza and juice box.
Yeah.
You do all kinds of things. Kids can do logos, and they could do storylines, and they could do settings from books, and they could just create for fun because you want a little choice in their choice board for a little brain break kind of deal.
Yeah.
They also have text choices, again, with all the fonts and the colors, and fancy text and plain text and all kinds of stuff. You can vertical fill the background. You can start new. There's just so many different tools that you can play around with. They do have an export, so once you've created, you can download it as like a JPEG, and you can do those types of things. So you can download it if you choose to. You can drop a background in if you want to. And then you could also, on the right-hand side, they have the different layers. So it's kind of nice. You can go back and pick and choose your layers like you would in any sort of photo editing software or any type along those lines. So you can play around with that and kind of learn some of those skills, I feel like, in a very simplified way. So there's a lot of fun things with Sketch.io. I have created a zebra named Tilly.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm going to do with zebra Tilly, but she's going to find a home somewhere because she's really cute.
She is.
Because those are the important things in life.
Yeah. This is Fred, and he likes orange juice boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pizza.
And pizza. Yeah. He's hungry.
And you just tell us a story about him.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a fun one with
That
your
would,
kids.
yeah.
Here, you got 30 seconds to make yourself, or maybe a minute, 2 minutes, make yourself a picture, tell us a story. Go.
Mm-hmm.
Be creative. You can incorporate into your dystopian book clubs.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
I'm sure you can come up with all kinds of ways to build this into your classroom. You could also use it like in math if you want kids to do visuals, especially younger students when they need to make like a visual to explain their story problem or scenarios. You can create a picture to go with it because it's fun. But yeah, Sketch.io, it's super fun. It's easy to use, and you can just sit there and you could really spend your time making some very quality pictures, or you could just do something quick and fun. We have been creating while talking.
Yeah.
Which is always fun.
I just either made him blue or purple. So don't know what color it is, but
bluish purple.
Yeah.
Ta-da! So that was kind of fun. So that is Sketch.io. It's a fun drawing software. I would say probably 4th grade on up could definitely navigate this one and crank out some cool art.
Yeah.
And just play around with it.
Perfect. I like it.
Yay. We have a second art tool because you can't have just one tool. Because I couldn't, while I was playing with art tools this week, I was thinking about art and AI, which is always this, ongoing discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of sites have built AI right in. So it's kind of just natural as a part of what you're doing. So the next site we're talking about is called Picsart. It's Picsart. So Picsart.com. And it's another art creation site, similar setup to probably like Canva or Adobe. You sign up with Google. And they have their layout and their uploads and templates and photos and all that kind of stuff. They also have, which is kind of cool, portions of it where AI is built in.
Okay.
So if you want to go into like the photo section, you can create your own AI, so like an AI image generator built in to the art software. So you can go ahead, click on photos, click on generate. It gives you then the options. So I typed in like dog with flowers on its head because why not?
Right.
Because it's fun. And then you click and you can choose then with your AI image generator if you want to look like photography or vintage film or a 3D rendering and graphic art, digital art, those types of things. And then you just click generate images. It takes a little while and it'll tell you that, like, be patient. And then I have the cutest puppies with flowers on their heads now. And you can choose to download it or add it into your workspace. And then you can edit from there the images that the AI generator has created. They also have options for AI generating text. So like, can't find the words you want to say, describe your idea, and AI will write it. So AI is built into Picsart, so you can have it generate things and then you can go in and edit them right away when it comes to images and text and font and things like that. So it's pretty cool. It's a cool concept of playing things around with, if you want a combination of AI to start it and you continue to do the piece of art, and just brainstorming ideas and creating, which is always kind of fun.
Yeah.
Which I like.
There are some limits on Picsart in terms of the number of times you can use it, right?
Yes. And there's different space. Yeah. So within certain things, like if you choose to do a video, if you're going to create that way, you have a limit on how many you can do. You can play around with different things in the free version. If you want to download them or export them, there's different parameters in what you can do and can't do. So you can play around for free. You can create lots of things for free. When you start using the AI, it'll label it. It's like pro. So like if you want to remove the background from it, or if you want to do certain types of editing pieces, those are pro versions. But it's something that you want to play around with. It's pretty cool. Like there's some cool ways to create with it and look at different types of photos, and you can upload your own images and then edit from there. So you can use the AI or not use the AI in this one, but it was just kind of a cool way that it's incorporating AI right into your art pieces and your creation as a starting point, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah, that is pretty neat. It's a cool tool.
Yeah.
For school.
We like a cool tool for school. So anyway, so with that, they also have a library, or they have your own photo files that you can upload as well. So you have choices to create photos, posters, image type art, and creations.
Very good.
There you go. So that's Picsart.
Picsart. Picsart.
Wow, it sounded like you were singing that one.
.com.
Little song while you're singing it.
Come on down, folks. Picsart.com. They wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
Oh my goodness. So we're just doing some fun little digital art tools this week. Definitely can build it in with your students with lots of different ways to build some art in, some choice board things, some recess, brain break type things, but also creations for class when they're presenting different types of work or just getting them to brainstorm and create, which is always kind of fun.
Yeah, very fun.
So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at SmartinWI or on Threads. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit SmartinWI.com. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/SmartinWI or visit SmartinWI.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep this show going. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the SmartinWI.com website are those of the author Shannon Martin and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this here podcast, please consult your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we hope they do. And we will talk to you next time right here on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.